Hey everybody, Travis at MUDDcreek.com. Today we are doing a review of the Wetfire starting tinder. These are little fire cubes that start up pretty well. We just actually did a test with the Wetfire versus the Esbit version. Definitely say the Wetfire won, but I want to show you the Wetfire on its own here. Kind of give you an idea how they work. But they come in these nice little packages. That's one of the biggest things. They come in a pack. I've already opened it up, but you can see how it comes here. Just like this. If you buy one of their fire starters, they also include one of the cubes for free, but they come in a pack of 8, and they weigh 4.73 grams or 0.16 ounces. I noticed, as I opened it up on the last one, it was, they're fairly brittle. They don't come in perfect little cubes here, I'll just show you. But they started up real well. Took a little bit of a trick to get it started with the fire starter, but we'll try to do it again here and show you kind of what we're dealing with. What they suggest you do is you take just some of the shavings here, kind of break it up and see if you can get a little bit here, maybe shave off a little bit more. So you can get that started, and then we'll once you start that, you start the other. So
total time 10 minutes 4.46 seconds.
That's the alarm clock that I forgot to shut off on the last run, but I'm going to set this up here so we can start it as soon as we get going here. We'll start it as soon as I put the main cube on there. See, it starts up pretty well. Let's move this just over here a little bit so we can see it a little better. The thing you'll notice is right from the get-go, the flame's pretty intense. It obviously dies off quite a bit afterward, and it's a fairly windy day today. I'd just like to point that out. It's probably, kind of off and on between 10 and 20 miles per hour. We're in a little bit of an area where it's not as windy. A little bit of a windshield here, but you kind of get the idea here. But that's the one thing I was impressed with this. As far as the survival situation goes, I think it burns really well because it started up real easily, and that's really, at the end of the day, that's what you want out of this, is for it to be able to start quickly so that you can get a fire going. Some people, they have a little stove that you can purchase with these that would be used to boil like a cup of water, a little emergency stove. It's just a little stand, really, that you can put a little cup of water on, one of your metal cups, and boil some water. I don't foresee you using it anything on a big pot or anything, but I'm sure it would work to some extent. You can kind of get an idea here how much it burns. It starts to kind of turn into, looks like a kind of a black marshmallow after a while. But the biggest thing, like I said, is it started up really quickly, and that was the thing I was most impressed with. Even with the fire starter, and they're lightweight, and that's the good thing. You're not sacrificing a lot of weight to carry these in your pack, and they start real easily. So as far as survival is concerned, I think this is probably the best option out there from what I've seen. As I compared it earlier to some of the other ones, I was definitely the most impressed with this one. We'll just burn here a little bit. We'll probably speed this up on time lapse so you can kind of get the full image, and then we'll stop it here once it gets toward the end. One thing I did notice from burning these before is they start to get, as you can see, they get a little black right here. And after a while, once it gets completely black and smaller, it eventually kind of went out, and there's still just a little bit of fuel there you could probably use. So, as it's going, if you wanted to just use this flame for something to boil water, you might need to break off some of the black crust on it to get down to the fuel. Just something that I noticed as I did this before. So we'll let this burn and put it on time lapse so you can see. You know, it's kind of funny. It just went out, and it's almost exactly the same time as the first burn that we did with these. Just to show you, there's just a kind of a little kernel in here. I'm sure we could start back up. But the first one that we burned when we were comparing it to the Esbit burned just shy of 7 minutes, and this one was almost on 7 minutes on the button here. So it's kind of interesting, fairly consistent, it appears. Like I said, the you know, there's definitely a little bit more here to burn, but just to show you how it burns out of the box without messing with it, if you were to use it to heat water or something like that, that's about it. But I don't know how much more you get out of that, maybe a minute or two. But so if you broke it up and kind of watched it, I'm thinking you'd get a little bit longer and keep the intensity, but it would also burn probably a little hotter, and it maybe cause it to burn out just that much quicker. So anyway, that is the Wetfire by Ultimate Survival Technologies. Really a great product, very impressed by it all in all. See the timer still going on in the background, but it ended at about 7 minutes, so that's the thing to remember. So come check us out at www.muddcreek.com. We sell these along with the Sparky fire starters and some of the other things. So